As part of your discussion, I didn't see anything related to right-of-way acquisition.
Yeah,
I haven't.
Okay.
Let me formulate the question. So, do you sure that because the way the project is presented is not only that you're going to be restoring the highway, it appears to me that you are widening the roadway too. So the question is, there is right-of-way availability during the project limits or not?
Well, the thing is, the roadway right now is a 4-lane two-way, and we're gonna keep that simulation, but with a bigger. We're gonna keep shoulders for the bike lanes, and we are making sure that the right-of-way on the project is not gonna be encroached on during the we have those project limits. That's why on the slide I didn't have enough time to go over. We have a proactive survey that's going to be going on through the project to make sure that we're never encroaching on those right-of-way limits during the project aspect.
Okay. Let's get back to the slide that you showed the detour of traffic for a second. How that detour was selected?
Okay, so yeah, I'm glad you asked. This detour was selected based on the noise setting, because over here along this area we have housing, and we know there's a lot of big trucks going along Avenida 51. So we chose to mitigate noise, one path, one for one oncoming direction and one for the southbound. So one for north and one for southbound to mitigate noise along.
But all of that is residential area?
That all of this along these side streets is pretty much residential, except for the main street over here, Calle de 122, and the major of the street of Avenida 202. So that's why we wanted to mitigate the noise problem. We didn't want it to be a complaint.
Because the work will be performed at night.
Yeah. The work here, the way we phase the work, this is only for nightly shifts to phase from phase 1 to phase 2. Phase 1 is going to be the southeast side of the roadway to open up a one-way, two-lane, two-way roadway from the 4-lane two-way. So we'll do phase 1 on the south, phase 2 on the north, and then reopening of the road. But this is just a detour plan for the overnight traffic switches to jump from phase to phase.
Oh, I
Okay.
Yeah.
You wanna?
Let's see. First, very thorough, well done. Couple of questions, just thinking a little bit out of the box.
Okay.
One of the benefits of new infrastructure also is the maintenance of the infrastructure. You know, going forward, how you maintain it, how you keep it. Have you thought of what would be your deliverables here? I mean, you have the asset, but the information, how would you deliver the asset? Have you thought of a spatial model? Have you thought of an information model? Has that been considered?
We're going to maintain the road?
No, what I'm saying is that you've developed what they're going to construct it with.
Yeah.
That information now is going to be set on a piece of paper, but we have a spatial model there. Have you thought of any idea of developing an information model so someone in the future can use what you have without having to search paper?
Well, we do expect most of these projects do become public record later on, but we do intend to duplicate the stretch we just displayed on other projects. So.
Right, but what I mean is if you're creating, for example, if you're creating a model to develop your plans with, the information that you put in that model now is accessed via reading the plan. There are other ways, there are newer ways to say take that and put it into a spatial model that you can then access the information. Your drainage structure is there. You know what type of drainage. You hit it, you find out what, just an idea. Because one of the advantages I see would be that there is no legacy there of how to do these things. So you can open the door. So the idea being is if you have a reality mesh or something that you do what you're developing, that you could then put a whole lot of information, the design information, you put the construction information into the model, and you deliver the model along with the asset. And then maintain the asset going forward, it makes it a lot easier.
That's a good point, and I don't think we addressed it directly, but
It's an option you guys have, but a very thorough job and well done.
Gentlemen, well-written report and good presentation. This is my passion, and I've done many of these, so I appreciate the way you structured it. Couple questions. You mentioned that this is a major arterial, and in your report, You showed us the location map, but you didn't describe the uses along the roadway. Therefore, your maintenance of traffic, your phasing, as you described it, working off-peak at night, making the shifts, it didn't make sense to me as far as why you would do that. So here's a question for you. Your proposed roadway, 11-foot wide travel lanes, 10-foot shoulders, and you say no on-street parking. Why the 10-foot shoulders in an arterial?
Because this area is very wide, it has a lot of pedestrians. And we wanted to give them enough space so they're not too crowded, and if it's too crowded, like, it can cause accidents because they might walk along the roadway. And we also would like in the future maybe propose bike lanes.
Yeah, exactly.
So we've left that option so then we don't have to go with right-of-way with a project.
Okay, and then the other question that I had for you is, and I guess this is for you, Chris, in the construction plan, how would you propose, because I understand the premise, which is we want to do this reconstruction, rehab, during a transition of chaos. So you're proposing, at least in the write-up, it seemed like if you were doing construction as you were designing. Is that the understanding, or do you propose to have plans
Actually,
with specifications and then adhere to?
Okay, so based on the way, since we don't really have that type of utility information, which, like I said, is one of the most important problems that on construction projects, we decided to go, instead of design bid build. We have to go design bid build. That way it gives us more time to investigate those utilities along the project line. That way we can go ahead and make sure we don't hit any of them, we don't create any of those claims. There's a little quote from EACC that says every dollar spent on utility coordination, you save $5 during construction, which is that's a big money saver in the long run. So I think focusing on the utilities, focusing on it's what's going to create that spatial to resolve that issue that you're portraying.
Thank you.
Your selection of the project is the Carretera Central, which is a national highway, and you have selected a section which is an urban area, and that project is cleared, extensively well analyzed and proposed. But my question relates then how to project that from an urban environment to a rural, more national highway, which is the title of your project.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, well, we couldn't show, unfortunately, all the different type of roadway systems, but for a more urban, a more highway type street roadway, we would go through this similar process as we've just shown, but think about, greater speed limits, maybe larger lanes, a stronger pavement design, and those type of factors. So that's how we do it.
Yeah, I have a question. Did you try to look at all into the economics of this? Because whether this is a worthwhile investment or not depends on the traffic flows, no? So you could, maybe you have no idea of, you have no traffic counts, but at least you could have speculated what is the minimum traffic that would make this a viable investment.
Thank you for the question. And yeah, you're absolutely right, because in the end, the main decision for this project will be if we can show if it's economically worthwhile or not. And other than budget, we didn't specifically do economic models, but it's something that we can consider for the future. So, thank you.
Thank you very much.